What up, folks? This is your boy Sham Phoenix, and you're tuned into the Stitch Sham Show, and I'm here with my mans.
Stitch Early.
And this is episode 20.
Yeah.
It's been a rough week. It's been a rough week.
Like we were supposed to record like 2 times.
Man.
It's been the only way that I could describe the heat at some points was hellish.
Yeah.
Like very much so.
Yeah, so that's why we're coming from Zoom today. We're not gonna battle with the heat today. We're gonna make it do what it do. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Unfortunately, our world just keeps handing us things to talk about.
No, son. I was thinking about it today, and I was like, the one thing that I would say in 2020, like of social media type stuff, I am looking forward to is Uncle Murder's year-end wrap-up.
Oh my goodness!
And I say,
do you understand?
So on regular years, them joints be crazy.
It does.
On 2020, this joint might be like an hour. He might have to rap for an hour.
It's gonna sound like a science fiction movie.
Exactly. And so I was thinking about that today. I was like, yo, the Uncle Murder year-end wrap-up is gonna be nuts this year.
And it's not that far off neither. It's like 4 or 5 months away.
Yeah, a few months. Because we pretty much
5. Yeah, about 5. It's about to be August. Yeah,
it's about to be August.
Yeah, that joint is crazy. Like I said, 2020 keeps giving us stuff. I'm gonna say, I want to put it this way because I don't want to make it seem like we're about to attack this gentleman.
Yeah.
So I want to put things into perspective before we talk about it. In 2003, when I was introduced to Kanye West, he became a hero to me musically, right? I wasn't so caught up in everything else around him, but musically he was saying and doing things that I felt that I could relate to, right? That were more relatable to me than a Beanie Siegel or a Mobb Deep, or like he was the closest thing that I could get a feeling of Tribe to, right? Yeah, and from that point on, I probably from 2003 to about 2007, I idolized him musically. Like I was like, this guy understands what's going on. And after the time of his mother passing, it just felt like the person that I had looked up to was disintegrating like right before my eyes. So in the recent weeks of watching him like fall apart, like on like not like where it could be like insinuated that Kanye is somewhere falling apart, but to actually physically watch him like look unhealthy, sound unhealthy, like it really hurt me to my heart. But without the emotion of it all, someone has to stop him. Like someone has to step in. And I know he's a grown man, but like some of the stuff that like he said in this recent weeks as a father, is alarming to me. Like basically saying like, you know, if you didn't know, Kanye went on a presidential kind of like rally. His first rally ever as running for president. He has a total emotional breakdown. Talks about the absence of his father, not wanting North. Later on in the day, it seems like he tweets about always wanting to have tried to leave Kim, feeling trapped, feeling like he's in Get Out. Like this. Now, if there is any truth to any of this, right, it's still alarming, right? Because a grown man with all that money can just walk out of a situation. Why are you staying there and allowing yourself to be abused if that's what the case is? But watching this has been like wow, like no one's gonna stop this. No one's gonna stop it.
And like I honestly feel like the person, like I see a lot of people posting about, man, does he not have any friends? Does he not have anybody that can like, yo, stop this? And what it made me think about, and we had talked about it the other day, like we've all had moments where it's like no matter who it is that is gonna come and pull me back, right now my mind is dead set on doing something, and I'm going to do it. No matter who it is comes and grabs me. And I think when you have an individual like Kanye, I definitely think his mother passing, I feel that she may have been that person.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't necessarily think that outside of us, him coming to the realization that, he's bipolar in the last few years and things like that coming out, I don't feel that Kanye has necessarily changed. I feel from the beginning, I remember seeing a video that he did. This is before he was Kanye.
Yeah.
And him saying like, yeah, I'm going to come in the game. I'm going to change music. Then I'm going to start wearing these types of clothes. And then everybody going to want to dress like a lot of the stuff in Kanye's music, he literally talks about. And it was the one line where I can't think of it off the top of my head, but where he's saying, like, people will tell me that what I'm doing is wrong, and like I'll still go do that joint anyway. Like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And he says that in the rap, you know what I mean? And this is we want the old Ye. This was like the old Ye that said these things. And so a lot of the times when I'm looking at it, I'm like, I definitely feel that him not having that one person that was the person that I feel was his real, like I feel like his mother was the person that kind of, anytime he kind of started, moving too far to the left, she was the one to pull him back in. And I think ever since not having that, I even feel that that's the reason why afterwards, I remember he went on tour. Like, I need to keep working because I just don't want to think about that, what I mean? So I honestly feel that in the last few years, even seeing him up on that stage and talking about his father and, his father not being there, I really feel that Kanye deals with the confidence that we see from Kanye is a false sense of confidence.
Yes. It's the thing that he thought he needed to convince people that he was as good as they were.
As they were. Right? Because if I put it out there, if I put the confidence out there, like, yo, I didn't win this award, I should have definitely won this award. Oh, you're not playing Yeezy? Like, oh, if I put that out there of this confidence, then no one will ever question my confidence.
Yeah.
But then once things start to become in question, like, yo, why the music don't sound how the music sound? Or why did he make this move? Or why are you doing this? Now things come in question. So now, people are kind of seeing the holes in the armor. And now I'm forced to kind of like deal with the things that I've been hiding or putting behind the facade the whole time. And now I have this breakdown on stage, which I don't think that the breakdown was staged. I really feel that like that happened in that moment.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Kanye sometimes is the antics and the reality. Sometimes you don't know what to take.
They're blurred.
Because it's so blurred. And the one person like that I'll relate it to is like in battle rap, there's a battle rapper named Daylight. And with Daylight, super dope rapper.
Yeah.
Like, tremendously dope rapper, like lyricist. But in his battles, it was so oftentimes where he would do these antics where I'm gonna get naked on stage or I'm gonna come out dressed as a slave, to where what ends up happening is people end up forgetting about you being a lyricist and then worry just about the antics. So when he came back in this recent battle, people were glued to the screen like, are we gonna get lyrics or are we gonna get antics? Which one? So I feel that same thing with Kanye is we tend to wonder, all right, is he telling the truth or is it because you have an album coming out? Okay.
Yeah. Well, the thing is this is that Kanye has always been verbally volatile. Like, even if I don't know, have you ever seen his VH1 Driven?
Yeah.
Where like he basically talked himself out of a deal. Like he can talk himself out of certain things.
Exactly.
So it's not that thing that is becoming alarming. What is becoming alarming is the people he is targeting with the words, right? Like, North is like 6 or 7 years old. So to berate like that in front of everyone, like this isn't something that you did on Twitter or like, this was you, like we can confirm it. We can't be like, did somebody hack his Twitter? Did somebody no, we watched you do this. And again, like I said, as a father, that alarmed me. Like, that's like when you would hurt your own like you would say some things that would hurt your own.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you really got to step back and
Especially
get the help that you need.
Publicly.
Yeah, like that was just
like a lot of the stuff that he was putting out there publicly is just like in-house type stuff. Like, all relationships have issues and go through.
Yeah, most definitely.
That nature. That's every relationship. But when you put those things out there publicly, like I think the one tweet was like, I wanted to divorce Kim ever since she met with Meek Mill about, and I was just like, huh? And now you pull Meek Mill in because now you pull a whole other person who wasn't even a part of the situation. Now people are looking at me like, hey, what did Meek do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just so many variables, I think, with an individual like Kanye, where you have the music side of Kanye, you have the fashion side of Kanye, you have the genius side, you have the bipolar side, you have the sporadic side. And when those things collide, and then when we're just basing it off of, and then when you go, oh, there's an album coming Friday, you go, okay, so is it
so are we really sending him real help, or is this him
to promote like
else?
you just, and that's why I said it gets so like blurred and convoluted, like that he's one of those individuals to where you do sit and you're like, man, I'm praying for you. Like I pray that everything is super straight. Because when you first see it, yes, it is funny when you first see it. My first thought was like, yo, like it was that, you're wilding. Like, and then it went to, man, like, and you need like help. Like
something's going on.
Something's going on. You know what I mean? There's something deeper than what we're just seeing on the surface. But then you get video after the fact with him like at his ranch with Dave Chappelle, and he's like, "Hey, tell a joke, Dave." Like, and he just
he be like,
so you like,
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what to think.
Yeah, and those things are so crazy because like I said, he has been. Again, I say musically for me, I can't talk for someone else.
Yeah,
but he's been a hero of sorts
1,000%.
Because he was standing up and saying things that we all felt like, man, I can't get into rap because I ain't no gangster. You know what I mean? Like, because gangster rap was taking over just like it did like in the early 90s. Mm-hmm. Those conversations of, you know, being in the hood and all this stuff. Yeah. And he's like, I don't, you know, I live in the suburbs, bro. I live in a townhouse. I don't got, you know, that type of thing. And then Kanye comes along and opens that door for people.
It makes it cool again for you to be you. Like for you to
just you.
Like, yo, oh yeah, I'm on this label and everybody on the label is gat grabbers and you know what I'm saying?
I'm not that.
Out, and I got on a polo and a Louis Vuitton backpack. And, you know what I mean? Like, and so, yeah, I don't know. It's just, like I said, and then something we talked about, like, I just feel that Kanye's, and it came out even with him talking about his father, I think he's always had a need for acceptance.
Yeah.
So even with him standing out, there was also like, I'm going to stand out, but I also want to do just enough for Beanie Siegel to say like, yo, yeah. For a Cameron to say, yo. For you know what I mean? So I want to stand out just enough to be different, but then I still want that acceptance, whether it be from the black community or if it be from the white community, like, oh, I'm the next Walt Disney, Louis Vuitton. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel that he always does these certain things to where it's like, well, I rap. So because I rap, the black community is already gonna embrace me.
They're gonna take me in. Yeah.
Now, but I want to design and I want to do these types of things. So I also want the white community to fully accept me as also one of theirs in the design community and as one of these greats. Because when he talks about greats, it's the Walt Disneys and the Louis Vuittons and it's those types of names, you know what I mean, that in that community are the standards. Yeah,
and I think that is something that I never really realized. I think we had a conversation like 2 days ago or yesterday. We talked about that, and I was like, man, I never even realized that was a thing. Yeah. Because I think what has happened is in Black culture, I don't think we've realized how much we've done it ourselves, right? Like, tried to find that balance between being accepted by the people that we're most relatable to, but also finding acceptance from the people who seem like they won't take us in at all, right? Yeah. Like to prove that point to them. So I'm going to get the right job and drive the right car and say the right things and try not to be threatening, you know, as possible, so that you could accept me as well. That's why this Kanye West situation kind of seems so like it's a regular thing for us to see Kanye in this light now.
Yeah.
And even though it seems a little bit further on the deep end, we understand that the times that we're living in with Corona and all these things that are going on, that people have way more time to sit with their thoughts and the things that they say and feel. But that's why when we talk about acceptance, when we talk about the Nick Cannon situation where he was fired or let go from the Viacom, I think it's like Viacom
Viacom CBS, yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, Viacom. And the thing is, like, the crazy thing with that is, in us talking about these two situations, is literally the polar opposites.
Yeah.
Kanye came into the game, you know what I'm saying, talking about, you know what I mean, like the white man, you know, and the white man get bread for all of that. Like, Kanye been talking about that type of stuff and talking about standing up and Black power and things of that nature, and then reverted back. Where we see Nick Cannon, we automatically think of Nick Cannon coming in, oh, Nickelodeon, and he's the super corny, like, oh, that guy. Then we saw Nick Cannon evolve into this, like, activist, speaking out on things and things like that. So it's like these two people who came in totally different and then evolved into, like, two people that if we would have looked back, we would have been like, nah, in 2019, be that person? Like, nah.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is with Nick Cannon was accused of anti-Semitic verbiage. I think what happened was that he just didn't choose the right words. I don't think he meant any harm to white people. I think he was trying to explain their insecurities of why they felt the need to oppress us. And I think people just, and this is the other thing, right? So we can talk about slavery and we can talk about all of these things, but when you get into talking about the Jewish community, people are really ready to defend them, right? Because the Holocaust was such a horrible thing, which we're not, you know, denying that, but we can talk about Black people and slaves forever, and like just now in 2020, people are finding that to be offensive.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying? Like it was anti-Semitic enough for them to basically cancel Nick Cannon, but not to address the thing that he was talking about how our oppressors have found, I think, the need to oppress us because of insecurity. Right, and that's a true statement, but I guess we missed that because of what he said. Yeah,
and he definitely, I think there were truths in some of the things that he said, and there were some things that I think he just not even so much misspoke, but could have said in a different way. And listening to a couple other podcasts that had, you know, some Jewish individuals just speaking on in the sense of what they went through. There's certain things that we talk about just in, and I think it's one of the things they talked about is as far as like with the Rothschilds and just saying things like, oh, the Jews, they run the banking system and things like that. And I think those are certain statements that for that community that they take as kind of like from what I was hearing is like even the term like anti-Semitic and things like that was ways that Hitler, things that he utilized in order to galvanize people against the Jewish people. So it's things that they look at that when they hear certain things of, oh, the Jewish people are taking over the money and they run the money and things like that, that they take those comments and it takes them back to then of, oh, we seen somebody who spoke that same type of rhetoric and we saw what happened there. So I know like one of their things, and when I was listening to the Brilliant Idiots, a guy, Chris Monroe, who was talking about it, and he was saying, you know, like growing up, he was always taught, it's not never forget. I think it's never again. Like he was always taught, like, these are the things that when you hear these certain things, and I think it's it's similar to, I think in the African American community, things that we grow up and we hear certain things that our parents tell us, you know, or certain things that we just heard growing up that becomes a part of our everyday life, that anytime we hear that, it's a trigger.
Yeah.
We automatically go to like, hold up, what was said. And I think even in Nick's apology, it was more of a, what I said was not meant to offend anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't something, you know, that I said like, oh, I'm trying to offend someone, or I'm racist in any way or anything like that. It's just that, okay, maybe I needed to be educated on certain things.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's like we've been talking about, especially like with Kanye, with August Alsina, Will and Jada, with Nick. I know Dwayne Wade even got in trouble for saying some things, well, or I guess
Dwayne Wade's joint was just, I think his was the typical social media thing. So yeah. From what I understand, it was like the equivalent of something happens to someone you know, and you just see everybody saying, "Oh yeah, we support you." Yeah. But you don't really know what happened. So he just jumped out and he was just like, "Yo, I support you, anything you need," not realizing what you were saying that you were supporting, and had to like walk it back like, "Oh, my bad. I didn't know that was what was happening. I was just supporting." Yeah, so it was one of those.
Man, Nick, I'm there for you, Brad.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was one of those types of things. Yeah.
Yeah. I think but this is the thing. I feel like if that culture, if the cancel culture is going to do its job, right? If it's been set up to be a safeguard against us being offended or anything happening, then why isn't it working in all the areas that it should be working? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because it's definitely a pick and choose.
It's definitely a pick and choose, because we have heard some of the most hatred driven rhetoric from our top official, and nothing has happened.
Nothing's happened. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think with cancel culture, they cancel who they can cancel.
Yes.
Like, it's one of those things to where it's like they pick and choose. Like, we not really gonna be able to do nothing with him no matter what. So let's go find the smaller fish instead of working on the bigger fish. And my thing just always goes to, yes, do certain things deserve to be canceled? Yes, I get it, certain things. But there's certain things that don't need to be canceled. It just needs to be taught.
Yeah.
So there's certain individuals who can speak on certain things and just may not have known. And I think we can all attest to that, and we can all agree that I've had times in my life where I may have spoke on something and was like, and then later was like, nah, well, you know, X, Y, and Z, and was like, I didn't know that. I was always taught it was this. And now when you're educated on it, now you can go back and say, hey, my bad for what I said about that. I found out that it was this, and I didn't know.
Yeah. I'm not going to say the actual story because we're a family show, but a friend of ours once adjusted the name of someone. Yeah. And and when she told him exactly what he said, and you know what I'm saying, he was unaware of that situation.
He did not know that the word that he said
was offensive.
Totally different. It was offensive.
It was offensive because the word that he said was heavily it was a heavily male-driven word that was related to the name of a female. And I don't want to go into it, but I said it so Lorenzo could laugh and understand, like, being taught something in the moment. Like, she could have really went off and not addressed him and not tried to educate him, right, in the moment. She could have just really got offended by what he said and been like, bro, what is you doing? But she said, do you know, the first question she said after he said that was, do you know what that is? And
his face looked surprised.
He was like,
nah, what you mean?
What is that? She explained it to him.
He was like, oh.
And then they bust out laughing, and it was clear. I feel like the world is not there right now. They're like, you said something, it hurt me, and now I want you to hurt as well. Yeah. And I think if we start getting into that, there will be no. The thing is that the fear of having a conversation to learn won't be there because people will be scared to talk.
Yeah.
To say anything.
to say anything. And I think even like I think one of the biggest kind of most recent joints that we've seen was like Kevin Hart with the Oscars. You know, as soon as he got the opportunity to, host the Oscars, and then people went and pulled up tweets from like 10 years ago? Like,
oh man, it was
something.
It was really far, man.
Tweets from like a long time ago, and it's not to say that what he tweeted was right.
Yeah.
Even he came out and said, like, yeah, my tweets were wrong. I've apologized for these tweets 500 times. Yeah. But because people can come back and say, well, no, we want a 501 time, apology. We want the 501st time. We need another one. Because people have the ability to do that, and so quickly now, you end up getting to the waters become murky, because it's like, are you just picking and choosing because you don't want to see certain people get to certain places? Or are you just, is there all across the board, this is what it is? So yeah, and I think that's probably like the kind of thing that when you look at it and you just wonder, like, how are you going about doing this? So like the whole cancel culture thing, like I said, I think there's certain things that you can definitively say, like, nah, nobody wants any of that. And then there are just moments that are learning moments. If we were to say, if I was to say some of the stuff that I was able to say in the 90s, in the early 90s, mid 90s, I would be canceled.
Yeah, most definitely. We would never get off the ground. If they looked up our history, they'd be like, these guys
be like, oh snap,
don't belong to talk to nobody.
Exactly. And because at a certain time, like even when it comes to like people and talk about like being homophobic and things like that, knowingly, for me, my first time knowingly meeting someone that was homosexual, that was openly homosexual, that was like, yo, this is who I am, was when I moved to Frederick. Yeah. I moved to Frederick at 15. Yeah. So like for 15 years of my life, there may have been people that I had met, not have known, but at the age of 15 was the first time that I actually ever knowingly. So to me, it was something new. It was like, I've seen it, but I've never seen it right in my face or met an individual. I know who it is, but I've never met an individual that I know of. So certain things you don't know. So there may have been things that before the age of 15 that I might have just been spewing. Yeah, because you didn't have any knowledge of. And then when you meet someone and you find that like, oh man, things that I've heard is total opposite from like, I've met you and like, you're nothing like what everyone has been saying that I've heard, you know what I mean? And I think you have to allot room for people to learn. Like you have to. That room has to be given for people to learn. And I guess it is a thin line of knowing when someone is actually doesn't know and when someone is playing as if they don't know, Yeah, and that's the thing. Like,
I'm hoping that we don't get into this mode to where we don't allow people to make mistakes. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Like even in those three situations, the three major situations that have probably happened in the last 2 weeks, Kanye, Nick Cannon, August Alsina, Will and Jada, countless other things. I feel like something happening, right, in a moment in time, especially like with Will and Jada, like that's their business. They're married. That's their business. We really don't have no judgment in that. Kanye is going through an emotional situation. Nick is probably the only one in the situation where it's like, I can be educated, and I can.
Yep, and that's exactly.
I can be formulated, but if we're only just going to cancel people who need to be educated, and then the people that we're trying to educate who are saying, no, I'm not. You're not going to educate me. I'm just going to do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And we're not canceling those people, but we're canceling the people that just need to be retaught or like that's the thing. That's where my issue comes in. Like, if we're going to do it, it needs to be across the board, and it needs to be even kill across the board, and I don't see like that. I don't feel like that's happening.
And I think the three people that you chose, like those three people, it's just crazy that it ended up being those three people. So in it, you have a Nick Cannon who does what he does. He gets the backlash from it. He sees it and he goes, "Yo, my bad. You know what I'm saying? I said some things on there that I definitely meant. And then there was things that I said that I might have said out of context. I apologize if anyone was offended. Yeah, I'm going to take this as a learning situation. I done sat down with some Jewish people. I'm now getting educated on their background, their history, and things of that nature." Yeah. On the flip side of that, you have August Alsina who does what he does, gets the backlash, Will and Jay to come out. He doesn't. So what does August Alsina do? August Alsina, he says, "No, I'm going to go and I'm going to make a show." Hold on one second. This is where like parenting comes in, and your daughter sitting in the joint. "Michaela, daddy's recording, so you have to wait. I will talk to mommy afterwards. Mommy knows that I'm recording. So head back upstairs, please. If you're gonna sit there, you gotta be quiet, okay?"
I told you we got a family show, folks.
You know what I mean? That's what gotta happen sometimes.
Because this is the thing, right? Like, I think people don't realize like how difficult it is to be in a house full of people, right? And still execute the things that you need to execute.
And like, while there's stuff going on.
I have all three of my kids upstairs, and I had to tell them before I came down here. I was like, "Listen, I'm going to the basement. You guys can't be walking heavy. Like, tread lightly because I'll pick it up in the camera." You know what I mean? Like, so but this is good, right? So let's look at that, right? So Michaela, right, has a level of understanding that you're recording, but she doesn't know to what extent it is, because all she knows is you talking to Uncle Mark, and you always talk to Uncle Mark.
Talk to Uncle. So she thinks right now, even though she knows we record, she's thinking I'm just on a video call. Yeah, and me and you were just having a conversation. Whereas like Malachi, he's upstairs right now, and he's like, "Y'all won't see me until you're done." Yeah, because I know
I have a full understanding.
Her understanding is like, I know you're doing something, but that's okay. I'm trying to come talk.
Yeah, and I want to talk to Uncle Mark, and I want to be around you, and I'm always around you when you talk to Uncle Mark.
Exactly. So it would be like me spazzing. Yeah. On her, like spazzing, like, and it's like, but you don't have a full understanding.
Yeah, I can't get upset with you without a full understanding.
Educate you on what's going on in order to do. And that's like what I was talking about with the August Alsina piece, was the fact that August Alsina did what he did, got the backlash. Could have easily done this. You know what? I put that out there. Maybe I should have. Maybe I shouldn't have. Did it. I'm done. What does August Alsina do?
He makes a terrible song called Entanglement.
I don't know if August Alsina knew what the word entanglement was before 2 weeks ago. And I could tell because he tried to rhyme it with stuff, and I just wasn't feeling it.
Like, I was like, it's just one of those things. It's like, man, like, why are you doing this?
What is the point of it? Like, what is the,
like, as a husband, right? Like, say I was with, right? And this man slept with my wife. Like, enough has to be enough. Like, that's enough. And now you're basically running through what happened. Like, that's a shot to me. After a while, it's gonna be like, all right, man, you're doing too much disrespect.
We're gonna end up putting bad boy hands on them.
Yeah, we're gonna end up being entangled.
Yeah, for real. Exactly. For real.
You know what I mean? So it's those things. Like, the world that we're living in now is so bent on entertainment, right? That it doesn't matter where it comes from or how it comes until it offends you, right? And then when that happens, then it's something different.
Yeah. Yep. And it's, I definitely feel that, like, until it offends you, or until
but this is the thing. I just told them what I was doing before I came down here.
Exactly. Yeah, I knew it was coming. But it's like, until it offends you, or someone is hurt, someone passed. Then it becomes like, it's funny. It's funny when it's happening. Yeah. And even when you find out that, like, oh, that person was really dealing with something. And that's why I said with the Kanye West situation, I understand people's initial, like, yo, what is
like this guy's crazy. Yeah. I definitely understand.
And then as you see more of it, you kind of do go to oh man, hold up. Like, this isn't normal.
Yeah. But this is the thing. do you think that has to do with the level of concern you have for an individual? Like, if Kanye wasn't a good artist, right, or somebody that I looked up to, do I feel like I would see the other side of him? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think how our world functions is, if in the same regard of like an R. Kelly.
Yes.
I feel if R. Kelly was not R. Kelly and he was just, he made a couple dope songs and we found that this dude had women trapped in his house and all of this stuff, I think R. Kelly would have been out of here. Yeah. But because in America, and I don't know if it's in the world, but I can speak for America. In America, your talent and your ability can allow people to overlook
a lot of stuff. Yeah.
And we think about that in sports, where you'll hear like, oh yeah, he bloodied his wife's whole face, he beat her down and pummeled her, but he won us a Super Bowl, and we'll forget about it.
Like even with Mike, like after you watch The Last Dance, everyone's like, Mike is a champion, and I'm the only one that's walking away like, Mike's a psychopath.
Yeah, even his teammates, a lot of his teammates said the same thing.
Yeah, like you're crazy.
But because of the championships,
we'll overlook it.
You'll overlook all of the bad because the good was so good. Like the good was that great that the bad doesn't necessarily really matter to you. And I think that happens a lot of times just in general with when you look at a Kanye West. I do feel that Kanye being Kanye, you see a lot more people having a genuine concern. Yeah. But I do feel that some people's concern is a genuine concern, and then I feel some people just want college dropout late registration again. Like I feel there's a large group of people that's like, I just want you to get it together so you can feed my need.
Yes. That's it. Not actually get yourself together because you have kids and a wife and a life to live.
I want you to get yourself together so that you can feed my need. And I think it's the same thing we do. Oh, this player is injured. Nah, get healthy so that you can feed my need. Mm-hmm. Hey, the NBA, I don't care if all of y'all get corona. Go play so you can feed my need. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's exactly just how society is it's a feed my need society.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on with you, I don't care. I'm in the house masked up, and I'm not going to play nobody in basketball.
No.
But
you can.
Teams.
Yeah.
And go stay at Disney. Don't be around your family. But I need my fix.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of times we'll not look at how we look at other people is just for it to go back around and benefit us. Like as a husband, like honestly, like how society looks at things is like lingerie.
Yeah.
Like lingerie doesn't really do anything for the woman.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Like, don't even keep it on that long if the moment's right.
Exactly. Lingerie is more, oh man, dang, you look good in that. Like it's a man buys lingerie, not for her. He buys lingerie so he can look and then get him to where he need to be to do what he need to do.
Yeah. And that's all that is.
And I think that's our society as a whole.
Yeah.
We sometimes care about people or want people to get better or do better so that we can benefit from what they do.
Yeah. And like that's why I say if cancel culture is not going to be distributed evenly, then I think we need to not have it be one-sided. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like it just seems to be one-sided. Like you say something I don't like and then you're gone, and for some people, and then you say something I don't like and we just get over it for others, and it's just like, nah, if we're gonna cancel this person, we need to cancel this person, or just not stop canceling people at all. Because this is my thing: if your intentions aren't good, life will show that, right? Yeah. It'll come to light, and I feel like sometimes we don't allow that to happen. We kind of speed that up, speed that process up even more. So, just for me, I just feel like we're at a place now that we have to make a decision. Like, are we going to allow people to grow? Are we going to allow people to make mistakes and learn from their mistakes? Or are we going to kind of just, keep our foot on the back of people who are uneducated in certain areas, who may not be aware of certain things and stuff like that? Because just like you said, like you could spaz on Michaela because you're doing something and she should know that you're recording, but without her having the full knowledge of exactly what you're doing, then is there really a reason for that?
Exactly.
And that's the thing that I feel like we've been trying to come to a conclusion on with all of the, and this is the other thing. I think a lot of it too is because we believe that people who become successful or superstars in an area, even outside of their talent, just the mantle that they hold, we hold them to a higher extent because we go, you guys have gotten farther than we are. You make more money than we are. You live a certain lifestyle that we don't live. So you should know better. And that's not always.
And that's not even, and I think even on the flip side of that, we also think that just because someone is educated in one area, that they're educated in all. Like we'll look at certain individuals and be like, man, he's so well spoken. He has his doctorate and his MBA and da 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 da.
Yeah.
He might say something stupid and you'd be like, yo, you didn't know that? And it's like, nah, he might not have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like I don't have a college degree, but I'm pretty sure I could probably give you some information to make you be like, yo, so what's going on?
I didn't know that. Yeah. And that's a true statement. That's definitely a true statement. I think, like I said, as a world, we're trying to figure that out and trying to figure out exactly how we navigate these waters because for a long period of time, right, like probably up until last year or the year before that, people just said and did whatever they wanted to. There really wasn't too many consequences for the things you did.
Yeah, for you, even when you look at music, like imagine the person that I always go to is imagine if Eminem came out in 2020.
Oh my goodness.
That would be the shortest career that you've ever seen in life.
He would have never gotten to where he is right now. No.
Never.
Everyone would have been offended all the time.
He was saying like the craziest.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So this is all new for America, really, right? Because we've been land of the free, home of the brave, First Amendment rights, say whatever you want. Like that's your opinion doesn't have to be mine. And now we've gone totally left field to like, don't say nothing.
Don't say anything. Because say it is all it takes is one person to be offended by what you said. And I think what we have to just be smarter at is oftentimes I think in a lot of these cases, we can tell where a person's heart is for, lack of a better term. So it's like when Nick says what he says and comes back out and is like, hey, I'm sorry if anyone was offended, but that definitely wasn't what I, was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? We can tell the difference between that and somebody that's like, nah, I know exactly what I said. Like, and I meant what I said and I stand on what I said. We can tell when there's a difference of a person who just is not knowledgeable or not fully knowledgeable on something. And when it's just like, no, this is embedded in me. This is exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
To be able to see that difference.
Yeah. I just hope that we can find some type of balance with it because right now it just seems a little unbalanced and a little tilted.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to get into the racial parts of it, but sometimes it just feels a little unbalanced on how we handle those situations.
Yeah, 1,000%. Because I mean, Woody Allen is married to his
adopted
daughter. You know what I mean?
And nobody says nothing.
Yeah, but when, and I mean, like, I'm good on both of them joints. Like,
but they got a whole documentary on R. Kelly.
But the moment that
surviving R. Kelly,
and when because I think Morgan Freeman did the same thing.
Yeah.
But when Morgan Freeman did it, it was like it went like uproar. It was an uproar. Yeah. Oh man, you know what I mean? So it just has to be balanced all the way around. Like it can't be pick and choose. If y'all gonna be canceling people, like go all the way across the board.
That's it. Go across the board.
Who y'all want to cancel? Because I can't see Ryan Seacrest doing Wildin' Out.
Yeah, please. I don't want to see that. Yeah. But speaking of cancel, please don't cancel us.
Hey, we just started. Hey, we just 20.
Yeah, We just get jumping.
Give us room. Give us room for cancellation.
Yeah, give us room. Let us get up there first.
You know what I'm saying?
If you want to cancel us after we get up there,
Yeah,
then,
for real.
Then that's cool. If y'all want to cancel us, then
I don't like how he talked to his daughter when.
Yeah, they'll go back and be like,
yeah, it'd be stuff like that where you go like, for real, that's what y'all. Yeah. That's what y'all
got out of that.
Yeah,
not that I was trying to tell her that I was. You probably say that to your kids all the time, but you gonna judge me? Yeah. But again, it's been. I think this is probably one of our. It's not heavy. It wasn't a heavier episode, but it was kind of like a more lighter end of the. Because the Kanye thing is really funny, but I don't.
It's a weird line, and so I'll say this with this in context, in the sense of I'm definitely a person that can find humor in probably dark situations that probably
yes. Okay, so you're right. You're on point. Yeah.
I'm a person like that, and I'm pretty sure there's some people watching that go, I'm the same way. Like I do in my head sometimes laugh at stuff that I probably shouldn't laugh at.
Yeah.
And my thing is I also laugh when it happens to me.
Yes.
Like I've slipped and busted my tail on ice. I'm 6'5". I've done it in front of in an area where I'm in a cul-de-sac, and I'm like, I know somebody looking through the window right now, laughing, and I have to laugh at myself. You know what I mean? So if I see you fall, I might laugh before I help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think me being that type of person, I know Mark can be that type of person. There's different people that can be those type of people. When you see something that's funny, to you, your first reaction is the humor side of it before you get to the side where you go, okay, I got my laughter out. Now I can bring in the teachable moment where I'm actually focused in and I'm learning and I'm trying to understand what's actually going on. Yes.
So that's why I say for this episode, we just wanted to talk about where we see things kind of going, especially media wise, because we're right now we're a part of the media. We are part of that situation. Yeah. And understanding that because we hold that mantle and that power, that we need to start kind of making sure that we're not being one-sided or one way. And just like, and again, knowing my own bias, like I said, I might be a little bit more accepting of Kanye West's mishaps than I would be of Donald Trump, because I'm not a fan of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Right. And I can honestly say that bias is there because I don't relate to Trump at all. You know what I mean? I can relate to Kanye. I know that I relate to Kanye. So if I have that, I know that it's there. And we can't ignore that it's there and say that it's not there, because I know for me it's there. So I think that was the biggest thing that I really wanted to kind of bring up about, especially after we talked about exactly what we wanted to say in episode 20, because there's so much stuff going on in the world.
Yeah, man.
At this point. And just trying to find it's going to be hard to find an unbiased foundation for anything. Yeah. Because people tend to lean to the things that they're related to or that they find relatable. So again, we thank you guys for tuning in with us, hanging with us. Shout out to our Patreons.
Yes.
I think we're going with the university.
Yeah, the university.
I thought that's what we said, right? Are we going with the university? Okay. Shout out to the university, our Patreon members.
Yes.
Again, if you guys want to join Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/arise, which is UHRISE.
We have content coming for y'all this week.
Yes, we got some really good content. We have been, I don't say working tirelessly, because we're way past. We work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
We ain't never been them dudes. Yeah. No, let me not say that. There were times that we did work hard, but as we've gotten older, we like, listen, there's a system. You do what's natural.
System of how we work in order for it to move, to continue to move.
Yes.
For it to not be a tired effort where at the end you like,
man, I burnt myself out, and I'm no good to no one. So please be on the lookout for projects. We have some projects, musical projects that are up. If you go to arisemusic.com, you can find projects by Stitch Early. You can find projects by me. And then soon, probably in the next couple of days or so, you'll find a joint project by the Arise Collective. We got a lot of stuff coming. Check out our YouTube page. It should be youtube.com/Arise, correct?
Yeah, that's it.
Check that out.
S-E.
Yeah, UHRISE. Check out all the things that we're doing, man. We're trying to spread ourselves across a couple different platforms to bring you guys some really good content. So we thank you guys for tuning in. Yep. And this has been episode 20, and we will catch y'all guys next week. Peace.
Peace.